Hey everyone, I know I said that I probably wouldn't vlog this semester, but I have some free time, and it's a Friday, and no one's in my suite, which is kind of weird, and I'm kind of creeped out, but, I figured I would treat y'all to a little bit of our favorite book! What? Okay, so here goes nothing. This chapter is ironically a shorter chapter, so hopefully I can fit this vlog in a few minutes. Chapter 17. By the time Ophelia could work out the story of the play, it was well advanced, although she had soon decided it was too wordy. Ophelia's intelligence was that of instinct and emotion. Hamlet's was of books and of science. That's not sexist. Stupid James Marsden. The actor playing a king who has been married to his queen a long time tells her that he feels his life will soon be over. He starts to speak of the husband who will replace him when he is gone. At this point, the queen becomes violently emotional and swears that she won't be marrying anybody else. She strides around the stage, waving her arms and declaiming so quickly that it is hard to understand the words. Ophelia yawned. Whatever the boy playing the queen was using for bosoms was not working very well. They were slipping down his front. Ophelia looked at Hamlet, the light from the fireplace reflecting his white hair, made it shine like the halos of the Holy Family in the paintings. Was that sacrilege, she wondered, to compare Hamlet to Christ? Would it be too flirtatious of her to stroke his hair? We all know that she does because of the play. She knew what her father would say. Polonius would already be furious at the way they were sitting. She could expect a stinging lecture tonight, and banishment to her room for a few days probably as well. Why couldn't he understand how she felt? Why did he have to be so horrible and strict, not like the other girls' fathers? Ophelia decided she had better not run her hand through Hamlet's hair. Not yet, anyway. A glance from the tiniest corner of her eye gave her the sense... Oh, she's looking at Polonius. Never mind, sorry. Gave her the sense that Polonius was watching. She dared not look at him directly. Instead, she turned her attention back to the stage. There was a queen still proclaiming her love for her husband. "I would kill my husband a second time," she vowed, "were I to marry someone else after you have gone. Earth shall not feed me, nor heaven give me light. Games shall not amuse me, nor sleep give me rest, if I bestow my attentions on anyone but you. I would rather live as a hermit in a cave than be with another man." Ophelia whispered to Hamlet, "She takes a long time to say that she loves him." A woman's love lasts no longer than her words," he whispered back. She sat back angrily. Is that all he thought of woman, then? Would he treat her love as mere trash? He did not understand the power of the lifelong gift she had for him? Yeah, she had it for him. The young boy playing the role of the queen finally came to a halt. He stood in the center of the stage and announced with an impressively deep voice, "Let my life be nothing but strife. If once a widow, I become a wife." His bosom had settled at a point just above his navel. That reminds me of the time that Amy Pond was pregnant in Doctor Who, and she had her pregnancy belly, and it happened to go over her skirt and not under it, and it was all messed up and it was bothering me. So obviously it was dream world, because people who are pregnant don't, wear clothes like that. Hamlet, who Ophelia decided may have much to... I can't read, I'm sorry. Hamlet, whom Ophelia decided may have had too much beer, called out to the queen, "What do you think, mother?" "What do I think? I think more people talk about love, the less they feel it." But suddenly Claudius was interrupting both of them and the play. "Is this some sort of insult to Her Majesty and me?" he demanded. Ophelia stiffened, wishing then that she had paid more attention to the discussion on stage. Gamely the actors struggled on, as Hamlet replied to his uncle, No, it's all a joke. Relax, sir. There's no offense in the world." On stage the king was asleep on a grassy bank, a rather unreliable looking prop covered with a green blanket and scattering of flowers. Prowling around him was a new character. No sooner did Ophelia wonder who he was, and Hamlet whispered, "That's Lucanius, nephew to the king." Ophelia whispered back, You make a good commentator, my lord." "Oh, Ophelia, you're trying too hard." The nephew came to the front of the stage. Ophelia felt the excitement quivering through Hamlet. She wondered at the cause. Could it be her? What strange creatures men were! What powerful passions they seemed to feel! She felt intense passions too, but men seemed hot and cold, whereas she was always hot. Oh my God, James Marsden, you're being scandalous. It never occurred to her that Hamlet was trembling with the tension of the first-time author, who was about to hear his lines uttered in front of an audience. Glaring first at the audience, then at the recumbent king, the nephew made his evil intentions clear. Now it's going to be a passage thing, so don't worry. "There he sleeps in mortal bliss, but I am like a serpent's hiss. I carry here venom profound, gathered from this very ground. Infected by my evil vice, every bite will poison twice. Pour it into this one here, through the medium of his ear. End the last virtuous life, so I carry off." Before the actor was able to carry out his attack on the sleeping king, Hamlet leapt to his feet in a wild excitement. "He poisons him in the garden to get the estate! He poisons him, I tell you! He poured it into his ear! He murdered him in the garden, murdered him, and stole his wife, stole everything he owned!" Is he drunk or mad? Ophelia wondered, frightened. She did not understand what was happening, but felt the ferocity of the moment. Leaning forward, she saw the king was stirring to his feet. She whispered to Hamlet, "My lord, I think the king is offended." "Stop the play!" Claudius shouted, trembling with rage and fear. "What?" Hamlet exulted. "Frightened by false fire? It's only a play, after all." Behind Ophelia, Osric struggled to get out of his seat. "Shame, shame!" he brayed. Gertrude was standing. "Are you all right, my lord?" she begged her husband. "Stop the play!" Polonius called. All was confusion. The actors already melted back behind the curtains where their manager was cursing Hamlet. "He's dropped us right in it," he muttered. "Hurry back and pack your bags, lad. Pack everything. We might have to do a fast exit." "Give me some light," roared the king. "Fetch a light." "Lights! Lights!" Polonius called to no one in particular. A candle was brought from the rear of the hall, and more candles were lit from it. The king was stumbling around like a wounded bear. Not like a harpoon seal, like Hamlet was earlier. He walked right over to Osric, who had fallen forward, narrowly missing Ophelia, and was lying face down on the floor. "So did he faint? What's going on, Osric? We don't really know who you are." "Shame, shame," he called again, feeling the king's heavy boot in his back. Then he vomited. Okay. Claudius could now see a clear path to the door. The servants, trying to flee, had to stand back. They bowed low as he passed, hoping he would not see their faces. The two young gardeners were scared out of their wits. They both had the same thought. Old Gareth was right. Should have listened to old Gareth. He knew a thing or two, that one. Claudius was out the door. Hamlet, listening, heard the clatter of his heavy boots on the staircase. The king was followed closely by Gertrude, then Polonius, who forgot his daughter in haste to catch up with the king. Ophelia hovered for a minute, her eyes fixed on Hamlet, before she too fled. Others took their cue and made their hurried departures. Though no one understood what had happened, there was strong feelings that it would be the best to lie low and stay away. So off they scurried. In remarkably short time, Hamlet and Horatio were left alone. End of chapter 17. And I'm sorry this video went a little long, but everything here at Brockport's pretty fun, pretty cool. I love my drawing professor. He's Canadian. I really like him. He dropped the fiancé card though yesterday, so I was a little upset. But anyways, goodbye everyone.